Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. I got another Master Duel video for you. It's Monday, which means of course it is time once again for one of our viewer specials. For those of you who are not in the know, the viewer special is a series that we do every week, again on Mondays, where we look at games from you all, the viewers. It's a really nice way to just kind of, make us feel, not that we don't feel like a community, but just it really helps us to feel like one, I think. Being able to, share in our excitement of watching each other's really cool games and really hyping each other up for it. Because, I don't know, I feel like in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, especially even more so than other gaming communities I've been a part of, there's a lot of, people tearing each other down, right? A lot of the times I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Players have this crab in a bucket problem where, we're all, so eager to, cut down and criticize and call each other's decks or, builds cope or, win more or try hard or whatever, you want to say. There's just so much of that. And it's again, I feel like it's crabs in a bucket a lot of time where none of us are really able to get ahead because we're all too busy tearing each other down. But one of the reasons I like the viewer special games is because it's a really cool opportunity for us to, look at each other's games and decks and just get to see the highlight reel, once in a while and be like, hey, this is a really, really cool thing that we're doing here. So, yeah, I really appreciate that. Plus, also, I super appreciate you all just submitting games in the first place, right? I love this series. I love getting to get everyone involved. I love looking at cool decks and cool games, and we wouldn't be able to do it if you all didn't submit games every single week. So thank you all, everybody, so very much. So if you are eager to start contributing towards the viewer special games, if you want to show off your replays, here is how you can do it. If you check out the description below, you're going to find an invite link over to my Discord channel. If you go over there, there is a channel specifically for viewer special submissions. It's titled Viewer Special Submissions, and there you can leave. The main bit of information I will need is your 9-digit player ID, right? That way I can view your publicly saved replays by searching that. You do also want to make sure that any replay you want me to see is publicly saved. If it's not publicly saved, I'm not going to be able to view it. And then, yeah, if you've got multiple games saved especially, definitely make sure that you are leaving either the name of your opponent or the date and time that you played against them. Also, it definitely helps, too, if you want to leave a little blurb. It could be as simple as, I played this deck versus this deck. That alone is extremely helpful, but if you want to talk a little bit about how the game went, that's also definitely more than appreciated as well. And, we do only feature 3 duels a week, so it's not possible to get to everybody, unfortunately. But we do this series every single week, so, even if there is not this week, there's always the next one. Plus, as I always mention, too, and I do mean this, I end up watching about 90% of what comes in anyway, right? So even if I didn't feature it on the channel, know that I probably very, very likely watch your replay, especially if it's a deck that I play or am super interested in. But I don't know, I always say that, but at the same time, I always look at ones that I'm not, decks that I don't play as well, because I'm curious of what the build looks like, especially now that we have the UNTAPPED.gg companion. One of the biggest questions I get asked, in fact, I think the single biggest question I get asked in these videos is, what do the decks look like? And unfortunately, not everybody gives me their deck list. However, now that we have the UNTAPPED.gg companion, we are actually able to view lists from replays. So moving forward, we are going to be able to see what the list looks like. If you're also interested in getting the UNTAPPED.gg companion to take a peek at duelist decks when you're watching replays, or to have the tracker help you in your own games to be able to copy decks super quickly, go ahead and check out the description below. I've got an affiliate link. The companion is totally free to download, and clicking that affiliate link 100% helps and supports the channel. So definitely go ahead and check that out if you are interested. But without further ado, let's go ahead and just go right into these viewer-submitted duels here. Okay, first submission comes to us from Eleon. I'm trying to think if Eleon's been on the viewer special before. I know I've seen this name in the streams quite a bit, but we're going to be taking a look at this duel here, which, if I recall correctly, should be, yes, Speedroid versus Heroes. So, Speedroid, of course, got a pretty nice power boost, and as you can see here is our deck list. Again, one of the more common things I've been asked during all the viewer specials is, what does the deck list look like? So now, we're able to see the main deck here. Hopefully you all don't mind that. It doesn't seem like people typically do. Like, when people get asked in the Discord server what their lists are, they're always more than happy to share. And again, I know it's a pretty common question too, so I figured this would definitely be helpful for clearing that up. So from what I can tell, this looks like a fairly solid Speedroid list. I'm not very knowledgeable in Speedroids at all, mind you. Looks like we are on the Cashiera's very, very popular package, and for good reason. Cashiera Unicorn being Wind, very easily summonable, and a level 7 non-tuner, all make for very, very good material for the Speedroid deck. Of course, it's Terratop to 3 that was the real boost in power level here, right? Speedroid's one of those archetypes that you might not really, like, it's really easy to think of this as a more casual deck, but I've played against this deck in tournaments, and let me tell you something, this deck is a lot more powerful than it might seem. I don't know, but it seems pretty good. I don't know why people tend to sleep on this deck so much, especially with Terratop now at 3. I mean, of course, people are on Speedroids. I've definitely seen Speedroids around, not only on ladder myself, or in tournaments again, but also, you know, on sites like Master Duel Meta, right? But you just don't hear people talking about it a lot. Oof, Dark Rule No More is brutal. Always brutal when they end up actually topping it, going second here. Then they got the Vision Hero Vion dumping the Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist F is going to end up adding the Spirit of Neos. Vion F gets to banish the Shadow Mist in order to add Poly now. I don't think this is a very typical hero line, is it? They're fusing Stratos and Blazeman in hand. Interesting, for Sunrise. What are they doing, actually? They opened Stratos and didn't... I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since I've played... It's been a minute since I've played Heroes, but I do feel like our opponent definitely could have had better plays, especially if they opened with Stratos. I mean, to be fair, we don't know what the rest of their hand looks like, but... it just seems like a bit of a weird line to me, I don't know. But again, it's been a hot minute since I've played Heroes, so... could not tell you for sure. The Speedroids, it's funny because Elemention did ask for, like, pointers, and I'll definitely make sure to look for them where I can, but I will say that Speedroid is one of those decks that I'm, like, not familiar with how it plays, like, at all. So, I don't know if there's a whole lot, like, I can offer as far as, like, specifically playing with this deck. But again, I'll definitely make sure to keep my eyes open for sure. Oh, that's another thing I've mentioned about viewer specials in the past. Oh, they're going for Anaconda for DPE. Interesting. Oh, it's Heroes. No, of course they are. I don't know why I thought they were on, like, a different deck for some reason for a moment there, but... I wonder why... I guess because... I don't know, because I was wondering before why they didn't activate Miracle Fusion. Now I'm kind of wondering why... I'm wondering why our opponent did a lot of things they did, honestly, if I'm being frank, but Terratop's got to be a good top deck, right? Isn't that, like, an amazing top deck? It's got to be. Because even if we normal summon it, we can still activate the effect. Going for the Crystal Wing. I actually don't know... maybe there is a reason why we didn't special summon it at the start, or do you have to have, like, no monsters for... Hang on, let me see something real quick. So, draw, activate Hound. During a main phase, you can banish this card, shuffle speed, if you do special summon speed with an extremely different name, but different negates effects. So we shuffle back Talkatom Borg and summon the Cork Shooter. And then we were able to activate this one and bring it back. Yeah, I think here we could have started by special summoning Terratop, could we not have? And then we still would have had our normal summon. Not that I don't think we necessarily need it, but it would have been nice to have had it. Unless there is an interaction that I'm missing there. That is one thing I did notice just now that we could have done a little bit differently. But I don't think it's going to hugely matter. I guess we could have potentially normaled one of these two, but I don't know that we need to either. Virtual Beast... Juju. I've never known how to pronounce this card's name, frankly. I never have. I will say that getting the Crystal Wing online before the DPE goes off was pretty good, and that might have been the reason why we didn't special Terratop. Maybe if we had special Terratop and tried to activate something, they would have just DPE'd us, although they could have done that either way. I don't know. It's interesting. Okay, so they do have the Spirit of Neos coming down. We get to Ash the on resolution, or on summon effect, so that's good, but it will still be... I think it prevents itself from being destroyed, yeah, by battle, which is unfortunate. And it cannot be destroyed by battle at all, period. Not even, like, once per turn. It's a little brutal. Rubber Band Shooter coming down during main phase 2. Gonna banish the Clear Wing for Terratop, double Yo-Yo. This card is insane. This is a really, really good Link support monster. Okay, Terratop and double Yo-Yo sticking for 7. Is this Clear Wing? It's Clear Wing Fast Dragon. Interesting, okay. So this is the one that I believe, yeah, can change a monster attack to 0 and negate its effects. It's pretty good, of course. Between that and Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, of course, all the Clear Wing variants are all about negating monster effects, so they tend to be pretty good synchro monsters to end on. This DPE dropping our stuff's attack points is a little unfortunate, but we actually gotta put this in the Pendulum scale. What's the Pendulum effect? Oh, that's actually pretty relevant, honestly. We can basically synchro for it from the Panda zone. That's pretty neat. Okay. We got Wind the Wind Charmer as well. I don't know how standard this is in Speedway, but this is really cool. Either way, you can discard this card, one of the Wind Monster, and a Wind Monster for your deck to your hand. Wind Monster battle, use this card. Yeah, I like this. I like this as tech. I don't know how standard that is in Speedway again, because I'm not the most familiar with this deck, but I do think it's pretty neat. So yeah, we can use our Virtual World monster to threaten the DPE here. When it goes to activate the F, we have the Crystal Wing to pop that. And should just be able to swing in for lethal here, right? I wonder what the face down card, there is a chance like Imperm or Called By, or maybe Droplet, I guess. It's not uncommon. Although this person's also on Dark Ruin no more, so I would be a little surprised if they were on Droplet too. Ooh, what does this one do? High Speed Ride Kite Drake. This card is supposed to somebody can activate one of these effects, destroy other card in the field, negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls. You can add a Speed Ride monster from deck to hand. Interesting. Okay. Oh, you did mention, I think you did mention, like, in your little blurb that you did kind of style on them a little bit by summoning some synchro monsters. That's funny. That's a really funny animation, too, for the High Speed Ride Clearing Rider. It's just a motorcycle. That's good. What was that trap card, by the way? Was that a favorite contact? Okay. Alright, good stuff. So yeah, I mean, as far as like critique, I don't really have too much. Like, the only thing I noticed was not specialing Terratop and normaling it, but also at the same time, looking back, I think we did put the Crystal Wing on the board before we summoned that, so the DPE couldn't come in, or at least so that we could negate it when the DPE's effect did come in. So I'll say I definitely understand that line. I think it was probably even better. You know, Speed Rating is just one of those decks I'm not the most familiar with in the world, but that was a really, really cool game. Thank you very much, Elemention, for sharing that. Some nice speed-roid action there. Hell yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next duel. Okay, next duel comes to us from Panda here. Panda's got, I believe it should be this game here, in which they are playing Zark Dinomorphia versus Skull Servant. Dinomorphia is definitely one of those decks that I feel like I always lose against, so I'm very eager to see a game from the Dinomorphia player's perspective, and I'm also very eager to see the opponent's Skull Servant deck, so this will be a bit of a 2-for-1 as far as what I'm looking for here. So we're going to start with the Lilith, and that will allow us to excavate for a trap card, or search for a trap card, I believe. Yeah, where you reveal 3 normal traps. They don't even have to have different names, as we saw like there. And then your opponent randomly sets one. So we're going to set the Trap Tracks, which this card allows us to target a monster you control, destroy it if you do set a normal trap from your deck, and you can activate this turn. It's kind of like Trap Tricks, except you get to, well, yeah, you get to just do it by popping a monster on your field, which is pretty neat. Also sending a big welcome. So I saw that too. We got the Lady Lab in here as well. So we got a little bit of a lab package to help support the Dinomorphia stuff. The welcomes for the Lady Lab, it makes a lot of sense, of course, with the Lady Lab ability to set more trap cards in the deck. Trickstar Reincarnation to potentially disrupt the opponent's hand. And then we have Soul of the Supreme King, which I've been wrecked really hard by this card before. And I almost wonder if we don't have, yep, we have all of the, we have all of the, like, Zark stuff in the extra deck, too. I've been super wrecked by that effect before, so. Oh my god, we're gonna start by throwing down the Zark and the Lady Lab. That's so good. Although, I wonder if we could have, oh, but we can't. Well, no, I think we could have summoned the Lady Lab. Yeah, I think we could have gotten the set here. I mean, we're gonna activate other trap cards anyway, but we could have used Soul of the Supreme King, I think, a little bit later in the draw phase. But no, we were going to Trap Tracks anyway, so yeah, never mind. Don't mind me. Talking about decks I don't I don't play myself, so. Setting Dynamorphia Frenzy, and then Trap Tracks will set the Infinite Impermanence. Oh no, I think it was the other way around. I think the Trap Tracks set the Dynamorphia Frenzy and the Lady Lab set the Imperm. Oh no! That was a really scary Trickstar reincarnation because we just, Oh no, we banished their hand. That's right, we don't send it to the graveyard, so that was actually really, really good. Look at all these Skull Servant cards we dumped in there. Granted, I mean, they had a Dark World dealing, so they might have been able to draw out of this hand, but wow, that was, we got rid of the Kaiser Coliseum, which is definitely really, really good for us. Oh! And the Zark effect, right, because we destroyed Zark, we put it in the Pendulum Scale, and Zark says once per turn when a card is added from the opponent's main deck to the opponent's hand, except during the draw phase or damage step, you destroy those cards. Plural. Oh, so I see. So we cycled out their hand, they added those cards, and then we used the Zark F to send... Oh my god, that's so gross, that's so good! Now, unfortunately for us here, they did have a white baking in that second set, meaning we are going to proc that effect, as well as the White Prince. 2 of them even, wow. So that was actually, that ended up being... if our opponent's hands had been like the other way around, right? If we had banished these and sent these to the graveyard, that would have not been a big deal, even the slightest. So we got really unlucky in that regard. We sent them a pretty good hand to the graveyard and banished a pretty bad one. If it had been the other way around, this duel would have been immediately over, but... They get to drop a 7K King of the Skull Servants here, battling over the Lady Lab. I imagine we're just going to set these two and then pass over to our opponent. Yeah, I got the 7K King of the Skull Servants. We do have the Imperm, so that will be able to... Oh, they ripped Ash Blossom! Oh, they peeled Ash Blossom off the top of their deck. We do still have the Frenzy, though, so that's good. But being able to stop one of the Dynamorphia fusions is definitely not ideal. Okay, here we're making the Kent Regina. And Kent Regina F, yeah, that'll be able to use the Frenzy again, so I imagine this will be Rex term here. Yep. And yeah, now we have the Rex term F. Although, and again, we did also have the Imperm F as well. Couldn't we not have used Imperm actually to drop the King's attack to 0? Yeah, I think that's what we're about to do here. Oh, but that's not lethal. I don't know why I thought that was going to be lethal for them. Right, okay. Now we get to pop it by a card effect. That's good. Yeah, because King of the Skull Servant can repeatedly bring itself back if it's destroyed by battle, but not if it's destroyed by a card effect. And, I mean, yeah, White Prince can summon more, but not without banishing 3 total out of the graveyard, which will, of course, severely reduce the attack points of the resulting King of the Skull Servant. Got a little Dynamorphia getting in weird amounts of damage, swinging in for a 29-37. Cool stuff. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since we featured Dynamorphia, and this was a super cool variant. Not only, of course, featuring the Zark package, even utilizing the Zark's Pendulum effect, but we also have that Lab package in as well. This is a really, really cool Dynamorphia build. Thank you very much for sharing, Panda. We have one more duel to check out, so let's go ahead and see that here. Okay, our last duel comes to us from Patreon user Mateo, who goes by Ban the Roach here on Master Duel. Pretty fitting name there. They have this game, I believe, against Anniversary it was. Let me actually pull that up here. Yes, where they are playing Vanquish Soul versus Branded. Vanquish Soul is one of those decks that I would really like to cover. I just don't really want to spend the UR to build, so... Always nice to get some Vanquish Soul coverage via the viewers specials here when possible. Okay, so looks like we have a pretty solid Vanquish Soul build. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really too fancy going on, but honestly, you know me, I think that non-fancy builds, especially for ranked ladder, are the way to go. Consistency is key when it comes to being able to ladder most efficiently, I think. So. Okay, they're going to Lubellion for, was that Saronir, I think it was? Yeah, for Sarnier, kit, add Branded Fusion, activate the Branded Fusion. We get to, fire off the Maxi directly in response to that. They're going to respond with the Branded Opening, which is pretty interesting. A little surprised they didn't do this first, honestly. Well, I guess... I was going to say, I was surprised they didn't do this first, because I figured you could go opening for Aliber to add Lost before you play Branded Fusion. But I guess opening for Quem isn't, like, the worst either. I mean, I'm not a Branded player by any means, but I feel like Lost is an important card to get online. What did they send with opening as well? It was... Albaz, okay. Okay, Albion F using Albaz and Kit for Lubellion? It's a little odd to do it this way under Max C, I think. And especially to discard your Max C. Like, here's the thing. Did we not already have... Yeah. I don't know. That was I'm not a Branded player by any means, but I feel like this is a weird line, honestly. I guess we did summon the Mirror Jade and get the... Albion in the yard, but, like, they gave you so many draws here to do it. I feel like one of Branded's strengths is that it has lines it can pivot to under Max C where it doesn't give that many draws, and our opponent, I feel like, just opted to not do that here. Like, they gave us, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 draws? That's a bit much. I don't know. When it comes to playing into Max C on turn 1, I really don't like giving my opponent more than 2 cards. Like, I feel like once you've given your opponent 3 draws off of a turn 1 Max C, it is, like, ceased being worth it for almost every single, like, turn 1 combo deck, right? Okay, we're gonna start with Stake Your Soul for the Pantera, and they're really just gonna fire off their Mirror Jade. This is one thing that Mateo mentioned in their little blurb, is that, yeah, the opponent is, like, just super shotgunning everything right off the bat. Whoa! Why are we... I feel like I have to take a step back here. Like, all we did was summon Pantera. We didn't even normal summon it, right? We specialed it, yeah. And our opponent chained Mirror Jade and Cartesia and Branded in red. I'm like, what is going on here? I mean, I guess they chained Branded in red because it was a... But I don't even think the Mirror Jade... I mean, I don't even think out of it. The Mirror Jade activation was so unnecessary. Especially given that this was a special and not a normal. Yeah, they really could have just waited and only chained Branded in red. Because I understand wanting to remove the Vanquish Soul monster from the board, even if it's not one they normal summoned. I understand that mentality, but, like, as the Branded opponent here, we have so many different ways to do it that, like, you know, if they're going to put Pantera, like, if we're going to put Pantera in the zone across from Branded in red, and again, I'm the Branded opponent, why would I fire off Mirror Jade when I know you're going to try to pop the Branded in red and I'm just going to chain that anyway? It's like, I don't know. Okay, and we're fusing with the Mirror Jade. I mean, it's still going to resolve, of course, but, like, you don't want to keep Mirror Jade on the field in case it gets popped to proc the board wipe off? It's like, I mean, I guess we're going to bring it back here. I guess that was the idea. That makes sense, okay. Oh, we did end up establishing Branded Lost. Oh, we did it off of the Lubellion, that's right. Okay, we get the Xiaolong F. They're going to add the Mercurier. Going will send Albion, sure, whatever. And then we bring Mirror Jade back. Okay, so that bit, I guess, was better than I thought it was going to be, but I still think that they're shotgunning their stuff entirely too quickly, frankly. We're using the second Mirror Jade already? It doesn't stop the surge. Like... Well, we've also... Here's the other thing that kind of confuses me. We've shown our opponent the Valius. Like, they know we have this in hand. We had to reveal it with the Stake Your Soul for Pantera. And, like, with how big our hand is, like, if I'm the opponent and the Vanquish Soul player has this many cards in hand and I know they have Valius, I'm like, they can summon it. There's no way they can't summon the Valius here. In fact, I think we've shown them everything but the Dark Monster, which, again, when we have this many cards in hand, you've got to figure we always have it. Okay, they're going to use Mercurier so we don't pop the Coritis. I'm surprised they didn't just shotgun the attack drop F at the rate they're going. Not that I think that would have been right, but, you know, again, at the rate they were going, it's like... And see, here's the thing, right? They could have, yeah, they could have just used the banish on the Valius here. But they're going to use the attack drop F instead. I don't know, I just like... We use so many... Again, as the branded opponent, I mean when I say we... They use so many disruption that they just shotgun so quickly. Oh, this is a nice prosp. We have like so many options here. God, we had like our choice. Like the Imperm, the Bell, the Magnaput, so many different kinds of disruption. You know, the funny thing is too, it's like it's really easy to see this board state and feel like the branded opponent is ahead, but I kind of feel like we're totally in control of this game right now. They do have the... Wait, did they use the Mercurier? They did, okay. I was going to say they do have the Mercurier to worry about, but they actually don't anymore. Branded Fusion F, send Tragedy and Albaz. What are they making? Oh, another Libellion. Wait, is that another Libellion? Did they play two? No, they must have put the first one back. Unless they banished it. Oh, they must have put it back, okay. I was gonna say, two Fusion Libellion in this meta seems a bit odd. Again, I'm not a branded player to be fair, but... Ad libitum is definitely a little odd for... That's not bad, though. A little odd for this meta. Okay, you're making the Furious. Oh my god, this Snow Devil's gonna go so hard here. Alright, we're gonna board your F, bounce the Valius, summon it, they move to battle, yep, and then we get to flip the Snow Devil. And again, there's no way we don't have all three attributes. We always do here. Oh, I thought it wasn't gonna destroy the Coritis for a second there. They do get to summon Alubur, but it's like, that's fine, whatever. Okay, banishing Quem and Albaz. What are we getting now? The Albion Sanctifier. They're also, like, running out of stuff to make, aren't they? Yeah, they're getting kind of low. I think they've used both Mirror Jades already. Maybe not. I thought they did. No? Guess not. Okay. Pop it. We get to just pop the Albion before it even goes to our turn. It's so good. Again, why... First summon, immediate first normal summon. They're just immediately shotgunning the Cartesia effect. Like, why would you not wait? All we're doing is surging. Oh no, I've made this misplay before. Yeah. Here's the thing about Guardian Chimera. You can summon it with Cartesia, but it doesn't actually do anything, because if this card is fusion summoned by a spell card or effect, that's when you activate the pop and draw effect. I think our opponent must be a lesser experienced branded Despia player, because I have made this exact same misplay before, as somebody who is not well versed at all in branded Despia. Okay, they're using the Mirror Jade F, and we're just gonna shotgun the burn off the Borg. I mean, at this point, the Borger burn is like practically gonna be enough to do it. They even tried to get rid of it. It's like we can just respond with the burn F, if that's why they were trying to banish the Borger there. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, I think it just comes down to our opponent just not having that much experience with branded Despia. We're so close, but even with another Borger burn, that's still going to leave them at 200. Oh my god, having to discard 3 cards. First world problems here. Because we have just so much advantage. Oh. Actually, does Dust Devil burn? I don't think Dust Devil burns, does it? No, it doesn't. Thalias doesn't burn, does it? Nah, it's just Borger and Snow Devil, I think. Although, like, at this rate, you know, I feel like we're pretty much going to win anyway, unless our opponent, like, wins on this turn. Because even if they answer all of our stuff, next turn we just normal summon Raisin, add Borger, special Borger, burn, right? And then we just win? Like... Yeah, we're gonna bounce the Borger here for the Valius, because Albaz is trying to fuse with it. And then, yeah, that forces them... That's one really nice way to disrupt Branded Despia, right? Is, if they go to activate a fusion effect and you take away some of their materials... then you put them in a situation where they have to resolve the fusion effect anyway because it hasn't been negated, right? And it forces them to use resources and make fusion monsters they don't want to. Like, it probably looks really weird why Albaz waiting to Mud Dragon of the Swamp there. The time limit win is so good there. It looks really weird, our opponent using Albaz to go into Mud Dragon of the Swamp, but that's because, again, we removed the Borger that they were going to fuse with. But that, just because the material leaves the field doesn't mean they can just opt not to fuse, right? They have to resolve the effect because it's already on the chain link because they've already activated it. So you have to resolve it if possible, and it was possible for them to make Mud Dragon, so they had to do that there. So that's a really good way to disrupt Branded Despia sometimes if they use a fusion effect and you are able to remove one of the materials from the field or whatever. So... that was an awesome game. That was a huge back and forth there. Thank you very much for that submission, Mateo, and as well to everyone else who submitted for this week as well. Again, there is always the next week. So if you didn't get in next week or this week, just keep submitting, and there is always the next week as well. But that'll go ahead and do it for this video. Let's move now to our outro. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. That means a lot to me. It's also a great way to support the channel, so thank you very much in that way as well. If you're interested in supporting the channel in other ways, like the very special patrons that I am thanking here, you can do so by checking out some of the links in the description. One of those goes to the Patreon, where you can join these fine folk and support the channel that way. I do post daily content over on Patreon, so you do get something for supporting there. And if you're interested, I also have a coaching tier option as well. Details again will be on Patreon in the link below. Also in the description linked below is my Twitch page where I stream a few times a week. You can go ahead and check that out, follow or subscribe over there if you ever want to catch me live. You'll also find my second YouTube channel if you feel like subscribing over there to watch some of the Twitch VODs as well as some additional non-Yu-Gi-Oh related content that I make over there. Again, any of those links you want to check out is all a great way of supporting. But again, even if you don't do that, just watching was also a fantastic way to support. And once again, I have to thank you so very much. But in any case, this is Hexlex. I'm going to be signing out, and I'm hoping you have a fantastic day.